This meeting is being recorded.
For the next problem from chapter 4, problem 6, we're going to identify all of the groups that would be considered substituents. And then we're also going to indicate the systematic name as well as a common name, if there is one, for each substituent. So let's take a look at structure A here. So starting on this end, we count, right? We trace over our parent here. So this is a heptane parent, 7 carbons in our longest chain. And this guy right here would be our substituent. So the common name for this structure, so the common, we would call this a tert-butyl group. But the systematic way would be if we name this as a substituent upon a substituent. So a substituent on a substituent is the way that we can name this systematically. So we have 2 carbons in the longest chain coming off as a substituent. And then on this carbon 1, this would be carbon 2. On our carbon 1, we have 2 methyl groups. So we could call this tert-butyl also a 1,1-dimethyl ethyl substituent. So again, a tert-butyl, common nomenclature under IUPAC, we would call it a 1,1-dimethyl ethyl substituent. All right, let's do the same thing with B here. So we trace our longest chain to help us identify. We have 2 substituents here. So this bottom one, this is pretty easy. This is just a methyl substituent. So that's both the systematic and the common name. So both for that. And then up here we have our common name for this. This would be, an isopropyl group, right? We have 1, 2, 3 carbons, and on the second carbon in our chain here, in our isopropyl substituent, it's connected. So that's why it's isopropyl instead of just propyl. The IUPAC, we would do the same thing as we did in part A with the tert-butyl. We would name it as a substituent upon a substituent. So in this case, let me remove one of these dots. Our longest substituent chain would be 2 carbons in length. So we would call that a ethyl substituent, right? And then we have this methyl upon our ethyl substituent. So this would be a 1-methyl, right? This is my 1, this is my 2 carbon. So a 1-methyl ethyl. So 1-methyl ethyl is the same as an isopropyl substituent in IUPAC nomenclature. All right, so part C, we'll trace our parent. So we know this guy here is our substituent, and we can name this the common name. You saw this in your constitutional isomer lab. This is a neopentyl group because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons in this structure here, in this substituent. So neopentyl is the common nomenclature. And then if we went through IUPAC nomenclature rules, our longest chain here would be 3 carbons within our substituent. So we would have a propyl. And then since we have 2 methyl substituents upon our substituent, we would call this 1, 2. So a 2,2-dimethyl propyl substituent, aka a neopentyl. All right, let's look at our last structure here. So our parent would be this 6-membered ring in the middle, this cyclohexane, and we end up with, oh, this should extend a little bit more. It got cut off. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 substituents, and we'll walk through each of these. So up top here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. So this can be called commonly an isobutyl. If we did our IUPAC, we would have a 2-methylpropyl. So on the second carbon, we have a substituent upon our propyl substituent. So isobutyl, aka 2-methylpropyl for the IUPAC. This substituent over here, we saw this with our second structure. This is a 1-methyl-ethyl, 1-methyl-ethyl substituent, or 1, 2, 3 bonded in that the carbon 2 there. We could also call this an isopropyl substituent. Down here, we saw the common nomenclature is tert-butyl, butyl. We can abbreviate tert with just a T. And the systematic IUPAC nomenclature for this was that 1,1-dimethyl-ethyl. All one long word. And then our last substituent here, we have not seen this named yet. So let's see, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons total. So it's going to be the common nomenclature. We would call this an isobutyl group. The IUPAC for this, we'll name it systematically. So our longest chain is a propyl. So 1, 2, 3 carbons in our longest chain. On the first carbon, we have a methyl group. So this will be, isobutyl would also be a 1-methyl-propyl substituent. So your substituents can have either the common name given in exams or in homework assignments, or you might see them with the systematic IUPAC name.